Hey guys, it's Summer, and today I am going to be making a video about the dolls. As you can see from the thumbnail and the title, we're literally just going to be giving you guys a news update. Because a few things we have come up with a few things that I haven't posted about or anything, and I feel like it'll just be fun to make a sit down video and just talk to you guys about the new stuff that's we've made canon and stuff and everything. So I have a few topics, but I feel like the first one I should address is for Cole. So if you guys didn't know, Cole was dating a guy named Daniel. His nickname was Danny. That's what he called him. And they were dating for a little bit, but they have broken up. So let me go ahead and give you the tea about that. So pretty much Danny and Cole met on a dating app. They met on Tinder. Megan was he was on Tinder and then Megan was on his phone and she saw Danny and she was like she showed Cole, she was like, "Ooh, look at this guy." And he was like, "Uh-huh." And then she swiped left, I believe is when you accept, or is when you are interested or whatever. She swiped left on Danny and then they ended up getting matched and and Cole was like kind of freaking out. He's like, "Oh, okay." Right? So that's how it all started. Megan the Wing Woman for real. But they matched and then they started talking and they were talking, I believe they talked for 6 months. They were talking and they met up during those 6 months. They met up because Danny lived in Orlando. No, Danny lived in Texas actually. Danny lived in Texas and Cole lived in Orlando because I believe that was before Cole had graduated from college, or he was already graduated, but no, this was before he graduated from college. So Cole was in Orlando, Danny was in Texas, but Danny was visiting Orlando to go visit some family. So Cole and Danny decided to give one day to meet up and to hang out, to get to see each other in person. And so they did that. They met up in person, and I believe they met up maybe two times again after that, or maybe once more or something. But they met up in person. So they've met up in person before, but they were talking for 6 months. And then in October, I don't remember the exact date, but in October, um, Cole was invited to one of his friends Levy's Halloween party for Halloween. And so so Cole invited Danny to come with him, and at that Halloween party, Cole introduced Danny to all his friends. So Megan met him, Kevin was there, Josh was there. He invited them. He didn't invite them, sorry. He introduced them to all of them and everything. And then after the Halloween party, I don't know, girl. I don't want to get into details because I don't have details, but things must have happened because after that party or during the party, they got together. So they started dating on that day or whatever. Yeah, on that day. But that was how they met and everything. But here's the thing. I will say I had always planned because Cole. Here's the thing about Cole, guys. He's not necessarily he needs work done. Okay, he's not ready for a relationship at all. He's very impatient. He has literally no patience at all. He's very impatient. He doesn't communicate well. He doesn't like to get vulnerable. He hates talking about his feelings and stuff, and he just alone doesn't like communicating. He's one of those people those stereotypical videos where they're about the parents and they don't like to apologize, and instead of apologizing they just simply go into your room with food, and that's their act of an apology because they don't actually want to say it. They just pretend it's all good. Cole's kind of like that in a way that he doesn't apologize about things. He rarely he does, but very rarely. Um and just in general, like I said, he's very impatient. So he can kind of get angry very easily or whatever, or just for I don't know. But he's not he's not really ready for a relationship. Okay, but so with that in mind, I originally had planned that him and Danny's relationship was they were gonna break up. They were not gonna be with for example, Michelle is dating a guy named Sammy, and we don't know if they're gonna break. Obviously, I don't know. That's her first relationship, so obviously she's probably not gonna end up marrying the man. But when are they gonna break up? I don't know. like that's not canon that we are like officially like we don't have it set in stone that they're gonna break up. They're just dating for right now, and we're just gonna forget about it until I don't know. Maybe Emma decides that okay, they're not together anymore. But with Danny, I knew they were gonna break up. Like they were dating just to break up. Um, because I knew that wasn't gonna last, like for sure. Um, and so originally I was just gonna say, oh, so Cole's immature. That's another thing. But oh yeah, let me get to the big part. Why that even matters. Danny is 25 years old. He was 25 years old, and Cole was still 20 when they got together. So they had a 5-year age gap, and that's kind of a big one. 25 and 20 is kind of insane. And so when Cole went and talked to everybody, or when he first told everybody about his relationship with Danny, um, they weren't, I mean, everybody, they were like, they were like, ooh, they weren't supportive. I mean, obviously to his face, they were like, oh, we're happy for you, blah, 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 blah. But in reality, nobody was like, everybody knew it was going to end in disaster. They were like, there is no way that's going to work out. Like, this man is too mature. He's not even ready for a relationship, and he's trying to get into one. He got into one with a 25-year-old man. And out of all of them, Stacy was like the most unsupportive about the relationship. She like literally told Cole in his face, like, that is like, why would you do that? Or whatever. And like, she would like, every single time they would hang out or whatever, if he got brought up, she would always like hate on it and everything. Um, but she was just coming from good intentions, okay? She just wanted she was preying on their downfall. Let me say that. Say she was preying on their downfall. But as I was saying, um, from the start they were gonna break up. So initially I had planned that Danny was gonna break up with Cole because eventually the immaturity from Cole's part was just gonna get to him, and he was gonna be like, okay, I need to get somebody who's more mature, like closer to my age. Like this age gap isn't working. And originally I had made, which he is, Danny's like a party kind of guy. Like he is kind of immature for his age too, which is why they even were like able to connect. But so like Danny likes to party and everything. He likes hanging out with his friends. He like acts kind of immature and stuff. So that's how they even like were able to work. But that was my initial plan on how they were gonna break up. Is that essentially it was gonna be kind of Cole's fault in terms that Danny just he was too immature for him. But then we changed things up a bit because then we realized, or I had mentioned before that Danny had gotten out of a relationship. So, but the thing is that we decided to. So this is the canon part, guys. So all I said is canon, but this is the real reason why they broke up and everything. So pretty much, Danny got out of a relationship, but he he it had only been a short amount of time. Like I forgot what I made it be, but it was like a couple of months since he broke up from a long term relationship. They were like together for like 3 years or something, and he got with Cole not long after. And so when Cole told Stacy and all of them about that, they were even more concerned because they were like, "Ooh, that's you know, like is he even over his ex? You know, because it was like 3 year relationship, and it was just a couple of months since he like got over him. I made it like half a year. It was half a year since he got over him, since he got over with his ex, and so you know, that one got to Cole's head a little bit. He went and talked to Megan about it. Megan was like, "Hey, why don't you just ask him about it, like indirectly, and like if he reacts really defensive about it, then like kind of like that's kind of a sign that like something's up or whatever." And so he did. He asked Danny, and Danny like just like he was a little annoyed, but he wasn't over the top because Danny didn't want to um make him worry, because in reality it was actually their suspicions were true. Danny was not at all. Oh, sorry, I forgot a part. I forgot a major part. Stacey asked Cole if he knew why Danny and his ex broke up, and the reason was because was his ex didn't meet Danny's criteria anymore, because Danny has strict criteria that he wants in a guy in a relationship, and his ex no longer wanted to have kids. So literally everything in the relationship was fine except for the fact that his Danny's ex no longer wanted to have kids anymore, and Danny really wanted to have kids. So that's the reason why they broke up. And so again, and then he got over him in like 6 months to get with Cole. And so that's why they were concerned, because they were like, so you're telling me the only reason is because they couldn't have kids. So like it was just like, so so like how are you gonna get over someone when like themselves were not the reason for the breakup. It was just because of, the circumstance. And so, yeah, Cole asked, Danny was like that, but in reality, their suspicions are true because Danny was not over his ex at all. Um, in reality, he was kind of using Cole. He was using Cole as a rebound. He was using Cole as a rebound. He met Cole and he was like, okay, we're having fun. This is great. Like, I like this guy. He's not over his ex yet. It was literally just his rebound. But he was like, let me just have fun with him then. Like, let's just get together and like I'll just have fun with him and hopefully he'll distract me from my ex and I'll be fine. And so that's what he was doing. He was with Cole. But then the first straw that started making the relationship go like bad was Cole made a post on Instagram for Valentine's Day. And in his post, it was just a photo dump of him and Danny hanging out when he went to go visit Danny at his house for Valentine's Day. Um, and in the photo album, it was just pictures, right? But on the last picture, and if you guys want to, I'll show you guys in a minute. But on the last picture, actually, let me show you guys right now. So he posted this photo dump. It says Valentine's Adventures with Danny, and it has photo dump in emojis as his caption. He posted this. This is him and Danny. This is Cole with Danny's cat. Him and Danny, random sky, them on a motorcycle, some conchas and stuff. But this was the last picture he had in his photo dump. And as you can read on the bottom, I'm not going to read it out loud, but that's what it had with the heart, and Danny was tagged. Um, and so pretty much Danny wasn't aware that he posted this, but once he did see it, he wasn't happy because this is the kind of stuff like Cole likes to post a lot of things that he likes he used to be low key a player. And so like in the past he had lots of friends with benefits. Like he had a friends with benefits with Megan. And then after that it like turned into a spiral of just multiple friends with benefits. He had friends with benefits with these other two guys at the same time and stuff. He like tried going on dates or whatever, but Cole's always had a flirty personality. So in his mind, the reason why he even posted that was because he thought it was funny. He thought that was funny and he thought that would be okay to post. But when Danny saw it, he wasn't happy with it. He was like, this is crazy. Like, why are you posting that? Like, that's disgusting, you know? Like, why are you telling everybody our business? And just to start off, they didn't even do that. He just wrote that because he thought it was funny. Like they didn't even do those activities after that picture, you know? Like it was all just complete joke in Cole's end. But like Danny was just like disgusted. He was like, why would you post that? You know? He thought that was immature. He thought that was weird. And so they got in a fight about that. Because Danny was saying that was so weird of you, and Cole was defending himself, being like, it was just a joke, chill out, you know, like I didn't think it was gonna be such a big deal. Danny and Cole fought about it, but Cole ended up deleting the post. Um the last picture of the post. So the post is still up, the last picture was gone. And so that was the first straw within the relationship where things started to get bad. Then later on, Cole posted another post. And this time the pictures, it was nothing to do with the post itself, it had to do with the caption. So here's the post that Cole had made. It was just this. He's holding this big bag, but as his caption, he said, I'll always hold the bag for a lady with a wink face. And so, once again, this man's Cole's in a relationship, but he once again just posted that because and had that the caption because he thought it was funny. And he's not generally trying to flirt. Like he's not generally he just want I don't honestly I don't even know. I don't even know. Cole's kind of weird. Like he was just trying to he wants his appearance to appear flirtatious or something. Like he just posted that because he thought it would be funny. It was flirty, and he was like, whatever, it doesn't mean anything. That was literally just his thought process. And so obviously Danny gets mad again because he's like, why are you being flirty in your caption when you're literally in a relationship with me? He's like, what are you doing? Like now people are gonna see this, and Danny's like, this is disrespectful to our relationship. Like why are you disrespecting me like that by posting a flirtatious caption when you're literally in a relationship? And so once again, Cole defended himself. They got in a fight. He was like, I literally was just trying to be like, I wasn't even trying to actually flirt with anybody. Like it was just a silly little caption that I thought would be funny or whatever, you know? So they got in a fight again. Cole never ended up changing the caption, but that was the second straw for Danny. Danny was like, okay, not gonna lie, things are not going so well, you know? Um, but then the last and final straw was when Danny got a edit of Megan and Cole on his TikTok For You page. Because pretty much, if you guys aren't aware, which is some other news that I gotta talk to you about, um, Megan and Cole started a YouTube channel called The Wackos. And I guess I'll take a break to talk about Cole to mention this for you guys because this is the other part of news, and I gotta explain that first before I get into why, how this whole conundrum happened with Danny. Um, so pretty much, Megan and Cole started a YouTube channel. It's called The Wackos. And their cameraman is Kevin. So like Kevin's in the videos, but as the cameraman, the best way I like to describe this whole dynamic is like the Caligari sisters. So just like how Noah's in like every single video because he is their cameraman and he's like actually involved in their videos too. That's literally Kevin with Megan and Kevin in their videos. So it's Megan and Kevin. Sorry, it's Megan and Cole's channel, but Kevin is the cameraman and he's just as involved. But the point is, um, Megan and Cole they're a little weird with the way they interact. So not entirely weird. Like it's all like obviously they're just friends. Obviously, like Megan's literally engaged to Kevin. Cole does not like Megan like that anymore. But the way they act, like Megan's just a naturally touchy person and stuff, and like the way they act is a little suspicious sometimes, like just a little tad bit. And so, or just in general, like even besides that, people ship them. And the whole thing with the Wackos is that we decided that it was gonna blow up. Like their level of fame is kind of like the Caligari sisters as well. Like they're like a hot topic right now, like how Tara and Jake and all of them were, or like the Stornolios. You know how they blew up on TikTok? They blew up from edits. Um, so that's how we decided it to be. So Megan and Cole have this popularity, right? But anyways, they're getting shipped by their fans. People ship Megan and Cole together. People are over here saying that Megan's cheating on Kevin. Like things are weird. Like why is she acting like this with her best friend? Like why do they even have a YouTube channel? You know, all these speculations and stuff. Or like Cole definitely has to like Megan. Like there's no way he doesn't like her. Or just things like that. Or like how in the world is Kevin even okay with this? Like he's just watching this happen. Or just literally just making speculations that Megan and Cole like each other, right? Um, and so, and within their fandom, they have a bunch of people who make edits of them together and just ship them in together in general, right? And so that's really the gist of their channel. So that's so before I go back to dating, that's the good news for Megan and Cole is that there are now YouTubers or official influencers besides their um you know, TikTok and Instagram fame or whatever. They are now official YouTubers and have a fandom. They have fans. They're blowing up right now. They're pretty popular. They've definitely. I don't know. I see. That's the thing. I'm confused on how like to justify their fame. Like I don't know how many followers they exactly have right now, but just know in your head. Eventually, they're gonna be as famous as like the Caligari sisters and like Tara and Jake Weber and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, that's their good news. But continuing on from that, so back to Danny. So Danny was just growing on TikTok, and when he got into his relationship with Cole, he knew that they had a YouTube channel. Like Cole would talk about Megan all the time when they were just talking before they even dated, because Megan's his best friend. So he knew that they had a YouTube channel, and Danny's been in one of their videos, but he's never watched their videos. Um, and I always told Emma, I was like, if Danny saw the way that Megan and Cole interacted, he wouldn't be happy with that either. Because, like, just to explain, like, like they're not like doing anything. I mean, they do like some things that are a little questionable, but like Megan's just a general touchy person, and she expresses her feelings of love platonically in touch. And like the best way Emma explains it to me is that Megan like generally doesn't see anything that's wrong. It's like Emma's told me it's like when you see those videos about like how people are like close with their dads or whatever and they're like hugging them and everything and people find it weird or stuff. She's like it's just like that. Like Megan's just doing it out of pure love. Like she views Cole as like a brother. And so when she's all touchy with him and stuff, like giving him hugs or like laying her head on his shoulder, like examples, those are examples. I don't know if she would lay her head on his shoulder. I'd have to ask Emma, but those are examples, right? Um, she's not doing those out of romantic feelings, and um, when like it's the person who like the actions are the same in terms of like romantic and platonic, but it's the feelings behind it that's different for her. And so that's how Megan acts with Cole. Obviously she's less touchy because she's in a relationship with Kevin, but like that's just still her love language. So that's how she is with him, and so therefore there becomes questionable moments sometimes. And Kevin knows that. Kevin knows that. That was the whole drama of how they even got into a relationship because he was friend zoned. She was touchy with like him and her friends, and he was like, "Oh, she's doing this with them, and then like this isn't special than what we have." Although it was because it was the feelings behind her actions that were obviously changing the meaning. So to her, it was special. She was doing those only because, or she was doing that because it was him, but he didn't know that. Whatever. So he knows that. What was I saying? But pretty much, um, because of their interactions and stuff, I've always said that if Danny knew how they acted, he would be like, that's a little weird, and he wouldn't have liked it, right? But anyways, he gets this edit on his TikTok, and it's of course of them shipping them, and he's like, what in the world is this, right? So he goes and takes a deeper dive. He's like, okay, what in the world? He watches some of their videos. He watches more edits. He watches more TikToks of people shipping them and like clues debunking like that they definitely like each other and stuff like that. And he gets mad. He's like, okay, this is super weird. Like, what in the world? You're telling me that this entire time your fans have been shipping you with Megan. Once again, he's like, this is disrespectful to our relationship. Like, this entire time, you guys have been like this. And, like, do you even act this way to the point where, like, people are shipping you together? So he's like, this is just weird. So once again, he gets in a fight with Cole about that. He's like, this is weird. Like, why are your fans shipping you? Why are you even supplying them with things? Like, why is your behavior weird enough for them to even ship you? Is pretty much his whole argument and stuff. And like the main thing is just that he feels disrespected because he's like, now people think that you're cheating on me for Megan when we're in a relationship because he has a public image. Like Cole has a public image. He's an influencer. Like he has a following. So Danny doesn't want that. Danny doesn't want multiple people thinking that about him. And so at that point, Danny was like, okay, this isn't worth it. Like I like the guy. I like Cole, but I could just find some like Danny or Cole definitely had stronger feelings for Danny than Danny did for Cole. So Danny was just like, I can just get it. Like we need to break up. It's not worth it. Like I don't want to deal with all this. Like I'll just find another guy to like, or I'll just find another person to get with. So Danny broke up with Cole. And that was the end of their relationship. They broke up like March something. They started dating like October something. They were dating for like 4 months, 5 months, I believe. It didn't even make it to half a year mark. But um that's why they broke up. And so then now another thing to mention is that officially I've declared Cole is just gonna be that kind of guy who just gets in a ton of relationships. Like just one after another. They're just not gonna work out. Like maybe eventually he'll find his person, but he's just he needs to work on himself and just in general he's gonna be the type of person that just continues to get in multiple relationships. Like my biggest example that I know from like a celebrity wise is like Mackenzie Ziegler. Like I don't know much about her, but all I know is that people said that like she gets in like tons of relationships like right after each other. Cole's not gonna be like that, like not right after each other, but he's just gonna have a ton of relationships throughout his lifetime. And who knows, maybe he'll never settle down, but that's what I have canonized about his character. So if he gets in a relationship, guys, don't ship it too much because it's literally just gonna end. Um, so yeah, that's news about Danny and Cole, and then Danny in general, and then Cole in general with his relationship life. So yeah, expect for the man to have multiple partners because like I said, he's not gonna settle down until like far, far in the future, if he even does. But that's that news. Now moving on, I've already talked to you guys about wackos, so yeah, surprise, they have a YouTube channel. Um, honestly, it's super duper fun. Like, coming up, posting things on their wackos Instagram and stuff, and just like thinking of like possible ideas, videos that they've done. It's so awesome. I'm so excited for them about that. And like they're like gonna become like they are influencers, and it's just so cool. Like right here is their Instagram for their Wackos channel. As you can see, they have just posts that they just like talk about, like right here, new video out now. Go check it out and let us know what you guys think. So like it's just been so cool. Here they go to pottery and stuff. Here's just a photo dump. Just random stuff. Like here they go play laser tag or whatever this thing's called. And it's just been so fun for them. But yeah, that's the big news for them is that they have a YouTube channel called The Wackos. And if you guys want, like, you don't have to subscribe at all. Like, there's not going to be any videos, but they do actually physically have a YouTube channel that I created for them just so I could have their layout. This is what their layout looks like. Um, their little bio, subscribe or else, and then it just links their TikToks and their Instagram, and then it says go buy from Queens because that's Megan's business. But yeah, if you guys want to, you can subscribe to them. Like, there's absolutely gonna be nothing to do for you, but or you could, just to check it out. Here it is. But yeah, that's their YouTube channel. Now, the next piece of new news is that Stacy is engaged. She's been dating this guy named Benny Bumpkin, and she finally got engaged by him. Don't ask me the details of their engagement because Emma. That's one thing about me and Emma is I like to develop a lot of things about the dolls, but Emma doesn't really do that. So yeah, there's no specifics on how their engagement went down and everything, but Stacey is now an engaged woman. So now out of the friend group, Megan, Kevin, and Stacey are both engaged, and it's just so sweet. Because Stacey has always wanted to get married young and like all that, and so like now she's finally engaged, and it's just so cool. So yeah, good news on that. Stacey is gonna be a future Stacey Bumpkin. And with that, I can show you because Emma did make an engagement post for them on Stacey's Instagram. Her caption right there is engaged, and here it is. It's just this picture of her and Benny, and then it's this video of how it happened. So obviously, I guess this is how it happened. But there's the video that Emma found to represent because obviously these are not actually them; they're not real people. But that's how it happened. We'll just wait for it to finish. But that is it. Um, Obviously, there's more, but whatever. And there's this picture, and then this picture of her showing off her ring, and then this one right here, and that's her post. So yeah, Stacy's engaged, and then also in terms of the ring, I'm pretty sure this is her engagement ring right here. It's pink and it's pretty, but yeah, that is it. So yeah, that is the news for Stacy. And then finally, my last piece of update and news for you guys is that Kevin is officially, well, actually I have two, but let me get into Kevin first. Kevin is officially a songwriter. So I've been thinking this in my mind. I'm like, I feel like Kevin would, like, I've been thinking about, I was like, is songwriting hard? Like, I feel like Kevin would write. Like, he likes to journal and he likes to write in general, like not like actually like write stories or whatever, but like like writing is fun for him, and like he likes to journal and stuff, and like he plays a guitar and he loves to sing. I was like, I was like, I want him to low key start writing songs because I really wanted him to like write a song for Megan or whatever. And so I asked Emma, she was like, that sounds okay. And so it's canon now, guys. Kevin is officially a songwriter and he's made songs. So he's made like 3 songs for Megan, but just kind of recently he started actually like making songs and he's released some songs. Um so yeah, that's the main part is that he's a songwriter, but he has released some songs to the public that are like on Spotify and Apple Music so people can listen to and everything. Right here is the first song he ever made or that he ever released. It's called 4 Seasons. As you can see, here's his little caption right here, but this is his picture, the cover for the single. It's called 4 Seasons, and this song's pretty much just about wanting to go through the 4 seasons of Megan over and over again. So like literally just wanting to go through the entire just wanting just living life and experiencing the seasons and the whole year passing by, living by Megan's side. And that's pretty much what the song's about. It's pretty much a love song. So that was his first song that he released. His next song he released is called November. This one right here, that's the cover for his single. That's his caption for his little release thing. But this one's literally, I don't even know. This one's just about like November. Like it's just about the fall season because he loves fall. But yeah, that's his second song that he's released. And then his most recent song that he's currently released is called I Miss You. This is the cover for that one. It's just about how he misses his mom. His mom's not dead, but his mom is absent from his life. He cut her off because she was very controlling and toxic with their relationship and everything. Like she always wanted him to be popular. She always tried to control what he did essentially. Like she was like, you gotta dress a certain way because you need to be popular, you need to maintain your image, you need to do all this and stuff. And he hated Meg she hated sorry she hated Megan, and that was the final straw for him. He was like, yeah, no, you no, like Miss Gurley like had beef with Megan for real. Like she slapped her one time, and like that was the final straw. He was done. And then also Yeah, I won't go into too much detail about it, but that's his songs essentially just it's called "I Miss You," and it's just about missing his mom, like before all that trash, like from early childhood, the good memories of being with his mom and just missing her and wishing that she never changed and turned into this awful person, or that they nothing happened between them, that they could have just been normal, but just missing her because he mourns the mom that he had, because he doesn't talk to her anymore. Um, but yeah, that's what this song's about. But good news is it doesn't just end there because Kevin. So those are the singles he's released like recently or whatever. But good news is eventually he will release an album, and it's gonna be called Inner Monologue. And I'm so excited about this. I'm just waiting for the time to pass so I can make him post it. But he is working. Well, he will work on an album eventually, and it's gonna be called Inner Monologue. Here's gonna be the cover for his album. This is the cover. It's called Inner Monologue. This is his cover, and pretty much the album is essentially just literally it's called Inner Monologue. It's gonna be about like his inner thoughts and everything, and just stuff like from throughout his years of life. And I will tell you guys all the songs because I did take the time to go and write. Well, not write. I did not write the songs. I took the time to go write titles for all of them, come up with titles, and to come up with what they're about. So I will inform you guys of that. I'm gonna be honest, this is my little memo that I wrote with all the information about it. I was just gonna memorize it and tell you guys about it while I went to go play Subway Surfers, but I cannot. I cannot. My memory is not that good. But as you can see right here, um, there's 15 songs in his that's gonna be in his album. And then he's gonna release the deluxe edition with 3 more songs. So his first these are the song titles. We've got track one is how con how I honestly don't even know how to pronounce this word. All I know is that it's like actually I kind of low-key forgot. It means pretty much like the storm before the calm before the storm, essentially, or like a peaceful period before things go bad, or at least that's what I meant. That's what it's supposed to mean. That's the vibe. I forgot what the actual word meant. It means something along those lines. Anyways, second track is Picture Perfect. Then his third track is Pulling a 180. Then we have Gunshot, T-shirt, Teenage Dream, Nobody's Watching, Obliviously in Love, Different Views, Panic Attack, In Plain Sight, Speech Bubble, Camila, Saving Grace, and Therapy. And then for his deluxe album, or his deluxe edition, we have Photo Booth, Repetitive, Repetitive, goodness gracious. We have Repetitive Pest, and then Just Like the Movies. And so here's his descriptions that I'll go ahead and talk to you about. So the first song was however in the world you say it. So pretty much like I have right here, it says describing blissful childhood innocence. How Coin's pretty much gonna be literally about it's literally gonna be about just how happy childhood was. Like I said, blissful childhood innocence. It's literally just gonna be talking about childhood, how his life was so good. Obviously childhood is good for everybody. like I feel like that's a common theme, or like whatever, for everybody to relate to. Is like childhood was the good years before everything went bad, and that's why it's the start of his album, because it's talking about how life was so good as a child. Like you're just a child, so you're living in your childhood dreams. You're living in your childhood thoughts. Like nothing bad is ever gonna happen in your childhood. Um, and that's why it's the beginning, because that's the introduction before things start to get bad. With that said, the next song in his album is Picture Perfect, which is where, like I said, um, that was the piece, and now here comes the beginning of the storm, because now we're in Picture Perfect, or like I was saying before, Hannah, his mom, has always been pressured to make, or has always pressured them to be popular, to maintain a picture perfect image, you know like she wanted the Thompson name to be known in the neighborhood as like they're the top family, they're such an amazing family, like they're awesome, they're like perfect, they do all these cool things, like they're just awesome, look up to them or whatever. And so she's always tried to make Kevin be the most popular guy in school. So like when he was a kid, she always pressured him. She wanted him to dress in a certain way so people like would like him and everything. Girls would think he was cute and stuff. And when he was in school, she wanted him to be friends. Everyone. Sorry, my mom called. But where was I? So pretty much, she always wanted him to have this good image. So she would pressure him to be friends with everybody. Um, be nice with everyone. She really pushed it onto him that he had to care about other people's opinions. Like he had to have everyone like him. If he didn't, like you weren't doing so good, you know? She wanted him to play football because that was most popular, but his dad Kyle like fought to let him play soccer because that was Kevin's actual interest. But whatever. And like in high school, again, like I said, she just really pushed this man to have his popularity be a big thing and to be this picture perfect guy. And so that's what the song's about. It's just that pressure and that feeling of having to feel perfect because of his mom and stuff. And pretty much before I continue, the whole direction of the album, it like follows a chronological order. So we started off with the blissfulness of innocence with childhood, and then now the beginning of his picture perfect pressure from his mom and everything. The next song is called Pulling a 180. This one's about his relationship with Jessica. Um, and pretty much it is talking about how Jessica completely pulled a 180 on him because when he first started dating Jessica, she was just a normal girl. Like there was nothing weird about her. But once he started dating her more, he found out how psychotic she truly was and how crazy she was in her true colors. Like Girly literally pulled a 180 on him because Girly is a psychopath. And so when she revealed herself to him, he was like, "Oh my gosh," which is why he ended up staying in such a long relationship with her because she was crazy. She is literally a psychopath, and he was scared. You know, he was scared for his life. But that's what the song's about. It's just talking about how he fell victim to her trap, to her trickery of how she seemed like she was normal, but he got in a relationship with her, and now she completely pulled a 180 on herself, and she's this evil person, and that's what the song's about. Next, we have Gunpoint, which is also about Jessica again. And that one's literally just talking about the toxicity of the relationship and feeling trapped and at gunpoint within the relationship, and just talking about how it felt like to be with this psychotic person and how she would expect him to do all these things and being frightened the entire time. Literally just being feeling like he's stuck at gunpoint, that he can't leave, he can't do anything because this girlie will hurt him, you know? And so that's what the song's about, just his toxic relationship and how he was feeling in that relationship and everything. Then next we have T-shirt, which we had those two sad ones and then or three sad ones. And then now we're on to some more happiness because T-shirt is about the first time Kevin met Megan. Um so essentially why it's even called T-shirt, some little lore for you guys, is because Megan and Kevin, well, he met Megan, but this was his first time like actually becoming friends with her. Um Kevin got switched into another class in freshman year, and Megan and all the rest of the friend group were essentially in this class. And in the class, they were pretty much doing like truth or dares or something. And so Kevin got in a little cup, and he got a dare, and it dared him to get in a T-shirt with another person. And so the teacher, it was like, okay, you're gonna get in a T-shirt with the person like in this seat or whatever, and it was Megan. And so he had to get stuck in a T-shirt with Megan in a big T-shirt, and they just talked, and that like finally made they like that forced them to talk with each other. um, and so they like befriended each other, and that was the first time they met, and it was all cutesy. Like he was like, okay, cool. And they talked, and they became friends, and Megan realized how cool he was, and he realized how cool Megan was. So yeah, happy song on that part. It was just a simple one, just explaining him meeting Megan. The next song is called Teenage Dream, and this one's about just honestly, literally just living a teenage dream. At this point, Kevin was like really, I mean, like he was still dating Jessica, but he was popular. He had a big friend group. He was best friends with the girlie he really liked, Megan. You know, um, and he was doing good in school. He was playing soccer, which he was the best at, and he really loved playing soccer. It's just talking about like that teenage fun that teenagers have. You know, the typical teenage experience. So, Teenage Dream is what that one is about. Okay, the next one's kind of dark. It's called Nobody's Watching. This one's about Sarah, Megan's twin. Um, so essentially, I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but this one's about when Sarah recorded Kevin without his consent and posted the pictures of him. Um, so essentially, the song starts off talking about how Kevin thought nobody was watching him because obviously he would be watching him. He was like, nobody, like, you know, just talks about nobody's watching him. Like it's just him living his life, no eyes on him. And then, um, the song progresses and it starts talking about how, um, great, hold on. Then it switches to how he hopes nobody is watching him because if you guys don't know, Sarah broke into his house, placed a camera to record him. He was in the shower, he came out, he has a shower in his bathroom. He came out, was getting dressed, and obviously I think you can put two and two together. That was caught on film without him dressed, and she posted the videos on social media. They got taken down eventually, but they're on there. And so initially, nobody's watching me. Like nobody's watching him at all. Like why would there be somebody watching him? Then the meaning transitions to he hopes no one's watching the videos. He hopes nobody's looking at him. He hopes nobody is watching him. And then the meaning just transitions to in general. He hopes nobody's watching him like at all. By meaning now he's talking about the after effect of this whole situation. That now he's paranoid by the fact that there was even a camera. Like how did she even get in there? Now he's paranoid that there's cameras everywhere. Like every single time he would go into the bathroom after that, um, he would check the bathroom or check his room. Like he stopped changing outside in his room. He started changing in the bathroom. Like now he was just paranoid about the whole entire situation. Talked, and then the meaning switches finally to how just he hopes nobody's watching him ever again, like how Sarah did with the camera. Um, but yeah, that's what that song's about. A pretty dark one, obviously. But yeah, the next song is called "Obliviously in Love." This one's again about Megan. It's literally just about how this one's set talking about the summer going into junior year. Um which just talks about, or maybe it's the summer going to I don't know, whatever. The summer going to junior year, or yeah. That's what it's about. And it's about how Megan, like during this time Megan and Kevin were really like crushing on each other. And they were like really happy with each other and stuff, and like their relationship was pretty good. And it's literally just about how their relationship was so fun and innocent, and they were just crushing on each other, and they were like literally obliviously in love because they didn't really connect that they were like liking each other, but they both did at the same time. And just talking about how like Kevin was too content with like what they had that he didn't want to confess because they were so in love, but it was just so great that he just didn't want to confess. He just wanted to keep on living in the moment and enjoy what they had. And that's literally what the song's about. It's just talking about their cuteness of crushing on each other and everything. The next one is called Different Views, and this one's about Megan having Kevin in the friend zone and about how he likes Megan, um, but she doesn't, and how he views her as girlfriend potential, and she just views him as a best friend. And that's literally just what the song's about. Being in the friend zone and them having different views of each other within the relationship. The next song once again has a dark meaning, or it's a dark song. It is called Panic Attack. This one is set in senior year. This one's about um I guess trigger warning, like sexual assault. I'm not gonna actually say because I don't know how um I don't know how things work and stuff, but essentially this one's about I'll use the code words again. This one's essentially about Kevin's feelings after getting raped for the first time. Um, and that was the first time. After that, that was the first time he's ever had a panic attack. And it's literally just talking about the awfulness, obviously, of that whole situation and how scary that was, and just everything about that. Next, we have In Plain Sight, which is again darker topic. This one's about a girl named Molly, which is the girl who raped Kevin. She used to stalk him. She would always watch him. Like whenever he was at soccer practice and stuff, or like at his soccer games, she would always be there. She literally was stalking him. And so I was talking about how she would just stalk him in plain sight and how uncomfortable he was with how she would watch him and everything. And it's just talking about his experience with having her as a stalker and having her eyes constantly on him and how paranoid he would always be, wondering what she's gonna pull next, what she's trying to do. She's literally watching him every move. That's she's always staring. That's just the whole song. The next song is called Speech Bubble. This one's just literally about suffocation within himself, not being able to speak, not being able to word his, not being able to verbally or make sense of his thoughts, not being able to speak about it because of his depression during senior year with all this going on. It's just talking about depression and how suffocated you feel with it, not being able to voice your opinions because he wants to keep this stuff a secret. He doesn't want to tell anybody, but also just not being able to even make sense of it all, Just dealing with this suffocating feeling of depression. And then we have the song Camila, which this one started because this was all a lie. Camila is a fictional person that Kevin created as an excuse to not get caught, because Molly groped him, or grape? I don't know how to reword that in the code word, but not that one. That means a different thing. She graped him, um, and he had, how do I say this? How do I code word this? He had, um, how do I say this, guys? He had marks all over his body from her, that you can get during that action. Uh, it starts with an H. Those he had those all over his body. And essentially, I won't go into the details, but essentially, Kevin had to remove his shirt, and everybody saw them, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" And so he created this fictional character, Camila, because he was like, "Oh, I was just a one night stand I had with this person named Camila," and everybody got mad at him because they were like, "I thought you liked Megan," They're like, "What about Megan? Like, I thought you were devoted to her, even though they weren't even dating." But whatever. And so everybody got mad at him, and he created this girl that he had a one night stand with, and then eventually he ended up getting caught in this web of lies because they got mad at him and everything, and they were like, that's what the whole song's about, just talking about how he had to create this little lie and how he's getting caught in his web of lies, and then talking about how his friends started turning on him and everything. The next song is called Saving Grace. This one's about Megan, because Megan generally super duper helped him during senior year. She was his saving grace. She was the light in the dark in that year. Like, she was the first person that he told. She's the only person other than his family that he told about the whole grape situation. And so being able to talk to her about it and just having her by his side and having her support, because she did not like Molly, obviously. But she just had his back, and that's just the whole song. It's just thanking her and just explaining how she was literally just his saving grace and during that whole depressive state of senior year. And then the last song of the album is called Therapy. What a great end, isn't it? It's literally just about his experience with therapy and having to go to therapy after everything that he's experienced. So yeah, that's literally what the song is. And then we have his deluxe album. But before that, yeah. So that's Inner Monologue. It's just talking about his experience of all these things that he's kept within his head and stuff, and now he's finally talking about it and expressing his inner monologue within this album. But yeah, the first song of the deluxe albums is just to capture things after that, after high school and stuff. It's called Photo Booth, and it's just talking about the happy moments of his relationship with Megan, because Megan really likes taking pictures, and she loves taking pictures in the photo booths, so that's why it's called that. It's just talking about his happy memories and moments in his relationship with Megan, because at that point they're dating now. Then the next song is called Repetitive Past. This one's about Jessica again, because even after his breakup with her, she was always obsessed with him. And she would not leave him alone, so she was still very much involved in his life despite being broken up with her. And even after high school, sorry once again, but anyways, it's pretty much like even after a relationship, there would still be situations where she'd still be involved in his life and bug him and everything, and do violent things to Megan, and hurt him and her. And so that one's just talking about how she's literally like a repetitive past. She's coming back and just dealing with the after effects of still dealing with her, and how frustrated he is by this, that he can't get rid of her. Like, she's just, she's just there. And then the last song of his deluxe album is called Just Like the Movies, and this one's just a summarization of Megan and Kevin's love story, talking about how the relationship was kind of just like the movies, how they were just two kids who liked each other, yearning to love each other. They went through such a period of time. Like, she wasn't actually friend zoning him, guys. That was all just a little lie because of a situation. But them both wanting to be with each other so badly, but they couldn't because of this fake friend zone thing. And then when they finally got together, it was just so beautiful. Like, they finally were together after wanting each other so bad. Um, and just talking about like just the beautifulness of the relationship, and just like how they got together and how just in love they are. It's just another love song about Megan. And so as you can see right here, the ones with the little dots on the sides are all of his what are they called? Singles within his album. So Picture Perfect, Obliviously in Love, Speech Bubble, and Just Like the Movies are all singles from within his album. Here is the single cover for Picture Perfect. It is Kevin with his mom, because it's about his mom. And I honestly I think this it's just beautiful. But yeah, this is the cover for Picture Perfect. Then here is the cover for Obliviously in Love. This is Kevin and Megan. And it's just a cute little picture to show them, you know, like it gives friend vibes. And this is a picture that they actually took, so it's like it was obviously probably a picture from when they were still friends, but like, so yeah, that one's Obliviously in Love. And then here is the cover for Speech Bubble. And I think this one's so good because it just captures the frustration and pent up, like obviously it physically shows like somebody like trapped in all this fury of thoughts and things. And this one's about the depression and stuff and not being able to speak and just, I don't know, I just this one just gives like this one's a chaotic song. But yeah, that one's the cover for Speech Bubble. And then here's the final cover for his final single, Just Like the Movies. And again, this is a picture of Megan and Kevin. And it's just them on a hill, just being cutesy because it's just a cutesy little cover for a cutesy little song. But yeah, that is the final news for Kevin in terms of his singing and stuff. So that's his future album, Inner Monologue. So yeah, I'm honestly really proud because obviously that's the most I can do. I'm not a songwriter myself. I can't actually write the songs, but that's the most I can do in terms of like coming up with them and their concepts and everything. So yeah, that's his album. And then the final piece of news, because I just remembered that we made this a thing. The final piece of news is in terms of like Megan and Kevin with his songwriting and stuff. So in terms of his fame, as we know, we made Megan and Cole become very popular in terms of YouTube. But Kevin, in terms of songwriting, he's not gonna really get anywhere. Like I don't really know. Like I don't want him to be like super popular. Like he's not gonna be like the next Sabrina Carpenter or anything, Like he's just making music just to make music just for fun. Like yeah, he might have some fans, which is cool, whatever. But it's not gonna be like I don't necessarily expect him to have like big things from this. Like he's not gonna go on The Voice or anything. Like he's just doing this for fun. Like this is all just for fun, guys. Um, but then the next big thing, this is the main part, is that Megan, me and Emma, when we were talking about this, um, she decided that she wants Megan to become a fashion designer and like actually be the type of person to be like, design clothes and have her clothes be walked on the runway and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so awesome. So now it's canon. It's canon. Megan will do that because that's Megan's true passion, She likes YouTube, yeah. Um, she likes to do all this stuff, yeah, but like her true passion is with her business queens. She likes creating clothes. And even though queens she makes clothes and stuff, she truly wants to create like incredible designs that she can't sell. Like she doesn't want to create just like normal clothes that people can wear. She wants to actually create those intricate, cool designs. So yeah, that is Megan's future goals, and that's what's gonna happen in the future. She's gonna become a famous designer. So yeah, Megan's gonna become this famous girly girl. But that is all my news I have for you guys. Is that Megan's gonna become famous in the future, more famous than she already is, by becoming a great fashion designer. And Kevin, you better know Kevin's gonna be there supporting her, by her side, watching her while her models walk down the runway in her beautiful designs. But yeah, that is all the news. So as a summary, we had the news about Cole and Danny's breakup, and then the fact that Cole's just gonna go through multiple relationships, and then we had the news about wackos, and then we had the news about what was next? Stacy getting engaged, and then we had Kevin's album and his songwriting, and then Megan, future fashion designer. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it was really long. Um, but I just wanted to update you guys because, that's my favorite thing, to talk about these guys, to talk about our dolls. So yeah, that's everything that's new with them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I will, if you guys have, first of all, if you guys have any questions or just anything that you want to know more about them, feel free to leave them in the comments because I will answer them. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!